Good morning and welcome to today's Empowering Morning Conversations. So we all know why we are coming here. Let's get started today on the topic. Everything in life, whether your possessions, your job, everything has to be maintained and managed. If you have a vehicle, it has to be maintained, it has to be managed. If you have a house, it has to be maintained and managed. If you have a family, it has to be maintained and managed. If you have a job, it has to be maintained and managed. So what is maintenance and what is managing? What's the difference?
Maintenance is something you give it a regular care, whereas managing is you do something for the time being.
Yes. So maintenance is more for survival and managing is for improving, developing and thriving. Yes, Shantiman.
Maintenance is things are as such, and you're just seeing to it that there is no deviation from the standards. Managing is like there is a crisis or some problem, and you want to solve the problem. Maintenance denotes maybe default mode, and management is creative mode.
Yeah, you can use the management for crisis management as well, but primarily the management we can use it for developing, improving and thriving. And it can also be used for the survival and the crisis. But we are looking at more towards thriving, more towards developing and improving. Right? So there are so many things in life which each one of us need to maintain and manage. And most of them you can outsource. You can employ somebody else to do it. Right? So assuming that you have sufficient capability in terms of affordability, in terms of taking care of the expenses or whatever it is, you can outsource. You can ask somebody else to maintain, ask somebody else to manage it. For example, you can ask somebody else to maintain your vehicle, or you can ask somebody else to manage your properties if you have multiple, right? By providing the compensation for them. So is there anything in the world which you cannot outsource of maintaining and managing it?
Your own health.
Yes.
And Ramaji, on a
So
lighter note,
basically your own, yes, Vetri.
you know what I mean.
Your own mind.
Yes, your own health, your own mind. So broadly, your own self. So your own self, you have to maintain, you have to manage. You can't outsource. Maybe very little of maintenance you could outsource, but so hardly anything. But ultimately, and managing almost 100% of the management you have to do for yourself. Okay, now the question is, maintaining yourself is the default mode, which all of us do, right? Now, what we are talking about is managing. So maintaining the self. Now we are talking about management, self-management, self-management for improving, developing, thriving. So how do you do your self-management? What are the ways? That's the topic for today. Let's explore that. Self-management. So how do you do that?
One is by attending.
What is it and how do you do it?
By attending
Yes. Yes, yes, surely. Yeah, that's definitely one of the ways, and it definitely helps. So, how does it help? EMC gives so many perspectives, so many questions it raises, so many tools and techniques it provides, which helps us to manage ourselves, right? So what is that we need to manage and how do we manage? So when we say self-management, what does that mean? And then how do we manage that? What do we mean by the self-management? Yes, Shantima.
It is like we the first formula what sir has taught, that performance is equal to potential minus interference. If we want to use all of our potential in a very good manner, the interference has to be reduced. It has to be taken care of. We have to manage the interferences. And there are so many
Yes,
interferences.
absolutely. We have to manage all the three components: the performance, the potential, and the interference. We have to manage all three of them.
Potential we have to manage the potential, like academic helps you, skill development, your habits, your attitude.
So identifying the potential, you may have potential, but identifying what is the potential you have is also your job. That also requires management. While interferers are the major ones which are taking away our energy and effort and focus, which needs to be managed. Equally, we have to manage the potential part as well. Yeah, that's right, Shantiman. That gives really a very good approach for us to manage the self. So if we manage our potential, if we manage our interferences, there is a good possibility of performing well, which is basically managing the self well. Thank you. So what is self-management?
Living at this moment with consciousness is what I feel.
Yes. So the awareness or consciousness, the presence, being in the present, right, automatically allows us to use our potential and also remove the interferences. So that's one of the best ways to manage ourselves to perform well. If we can make sure that we are aware, conscious, being present, then our potential automatically comes out and the interferences go away and our overall performance increases. Yes, thank you, Ritika. How do we do it is the next question.
And there are external and internal interferences. The internal
Yes.
interferences are more powerful than the external interferences. We can, if the internal,
That's right.
if we reduce the internal interferences, we can easily manage the external interferences.
Very
But
correct.
even the environment is favorable. If we have internal interferences, we cannot perform better.
That's right. Yeah. So we have to manage the internal interferences more.
Yes, and the best ways to deal with it, which I think is meditation and keep quiet. Once in a day, reflecting ourselves. That's the best way to deal with the self-management. I think this is my point of view.
Sure. Yeah. Being silence. Silence is one way. Meditation is another way to really quieten the mind and emotions and realize our potential and improve the attention and focus. Yes, that's right. Yes, Konaj.
Yeah, I would like to know the internal interference more, Shanti ma'am, or you can explain. Sir.
Internal interference is fear of the unknown, being judgmental, having a fixed point of view, not accepting others' point of views. Not collaborating with thinking that we are the right person and the others are wrong. These are internal interference and our own self-talk, which talks mostly about negative things, bringing before us only to see the negative consequences. We fail to see the positive side of the problem.
Very correct.
Yeah, got it, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. So what is the self which you need to manage? What is self-management? So what does self consist of?
Mind, body, emotions.
Yes, mind, emotions, body, and there is and there is memory of mind. You can make it broadly, but there are multiple levels of mind. One is mind which just takes the inputs, and there is the intellect which really takes the appropriate choices and decisions, and there is memory, and there is ego. So all these things put together, you can call it as mind. But if you want to go further and split it and see, you can see 4 different components. So that is the internal, what to say, you can say internal devices. The external devices, the 5 senses, which really takes the inputs, which when you take the input, obviously there is a possibility of a lot of interferences, a lot of management required. So you have to manage this 5 senses outside, external, and 4 senses inside, internal. What are the 4 senses? Manas, intellect, memory, and ego. 5 senses, you are seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing, touching, right? Those are all the senses. Yes, Kananji.
What are the 4 senses like memory, manas?
Memory. So memory is one. Manas, I don't know how do I put it in English. That's also okay. Let's take it as thoughts, intellect, and ego. Memory, thoughts, intellect, and ego. Which, in other words, broadly, all these things, the internal things, all these 4 instruments really produce the thoughts and emotions. So we can simplify saying that the internal things we have to manage is our thoughts and emotions. So we can simplify like that.
There is also a self-talk always going inside. Self-talk pulls us to past experiences or future worries.
Yes, self-talk is because of what? Because of the memory, because of the ego. Okay. So yes, Kunanji.
Sir, is there anything like I had read somewhere super ego or id? So can you explain more?
Super ego.
Yeah.
Ego, identity, ego, and superego.
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
this?
It is identity. We identify with something. I am this. I'm this. I'm this kind of a person. That is identity. We are giving an identity, and this identity keeps on changing. Keeps on changing every day according to our own perceptions or our experiences. In a crisis moment, we feel helpless. In an optimistic moment, we become over optimistic and we become aggressive. We don't know how to level up our mind.
Like we think no
We have
end
to
of
be
ourselves.
calm.
Like we think no end of ourselves.
Ma'am,
Yeah, so the identification is separating ourselves from everything else. So that is a basic identification. If it becomes a little bit severe, it is ego. And superego is, which is slightly better in terms of one can really help the whole of humanity if it can be used appropriately. So, superego is used in different sense. One is at the spiritual level, another is purely psychological level. But when it comes to identity and ego, it is required just for functioning in the world. But if that becomes the major focus, it leads to your separation and selfishness and issues in the world. You cannot transcend the issues if you're identifying more and more with identity and ego.
Sir, my easy understanding about superego is it's only to Kunai. Kunai, my understanding of superego is if I get that is ego, if you get that is superego.
No, I really want to understand this, which I have not yet. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, it is basically a little bit more highly evolved, a little bit more self-conscious. Ego is superego. But anyway, that's not where we are going. Yeah, that also has to be managed if we are talking about it. So I'm just reading the definition just for clarity. So superego is the part of a person's mind that acts as self-critical concerns, reflecting social standards learned from parents and teachers. So that's the superego. But at the spiritual level, I think like Aurobindo and all talking about in a different level actually. So anyway, we'll not get into that right now. Okay, so what is the self and what is self-management? And then how do we manage it? So that's a very, very interesting question. The basic question itself is so much challenging that what is myself? It's like defining an atom. So atom, it looks like there is something solid and then you go more and more inside. It is unexplainable. It keeps on going and going and going. Scientists are even now really struggling to completely defining what is an atom, for example. Yes, Shantima.
We identify with our roles, with our social status, our economic status, our roles in our organization, or roles in our family. Like I am a parent of the 2 children. I'm the husband or wife of these people. These people are my relatives. We think only in terms of these roles.
Yeah, so that's
We
another
identify with the roles. But
form of,
you're
yeah, that's
beyond
another form of identity.
Yes.
Yeah. So that identity, if it is used for normal functioning, it is good. But we use the identity in such a way that we forget the basic fundamentals. the moment you start playing the typical role defined in the society, like your father figure, mother figure, or a manager, or no, teacher, or whatever it is, the moment you start playing the role, forgetting that you are a human being and you are dealing with other human beings, the consequences are really bad. If you purely take the role and play only the role without really focusing on that you are a human being and you are dealing with other human beings, it leads to really pathetic society. Yes,
Yeah, self means the person we occupy. We can say this is a self means individual person, and it contains so many parts or so many functions or attributes. And self management means we can consider we are a company and we are managing so many employees inside us. We can employ them well. We can be an HR manager for self, I feel. We can just, being more productive. We can find what are the quality inside us, what are the people working inside our mind, and take them in a proper way, just to guide them. I think to hindrance that or the interference in there is our own this limiting belief or mindset and prejudgment, all those things. If you manage all those stuff, like in a corporate company, if you manage self, we can be more productive. Just take in a professional way and manage self. I feel everyone is an HR manager. How they are managing self, it will make them more productive and more efficient.
right. Yeah, that's right. There is a lot we can learn from the corporate also and apply it in our personal life. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. So from my point of view, it has three parts, mind, and then body and energy. Mind, we are storing our points of view, our thoughts, memories, our ego, whatever you can put it. Everything is coming under mind. Then that also we need to manage, as well as body also we need to manage. The third part is energy. Energetically also we need to manage it. That's my understanding, sir.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So body externally and then mind and energy internally. Yeah, yes. Yes, Reddy garu.
I said mind, body, and emotions. I just want some clarification from Shakti.
Sir, I told mind, body, energy, sir.
No, there is a no. I just want some because you talked about energy.
Mhm.
I as a layman, I talked about emotions.
Yes. Mm. Okay, sir. If you are having a good feeling, how do you feel? What kind of emotions you will have this? You will have a happy. That has some energetic value, right?
Yeah.
Same way when you're feeling sad, that kind of emotions you are having it, that also is having energy, right? I'm talking about that one only, sir.
Thank you, Shakti. You
Yes.
are clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think body and energy should be clear enough. In between mind, thoughts, and emotions, we may get confused. But mind and the thoughts and emotions put together, we can call it as mind, or you can split mind into thoughts and emotions. So broadly, we can say mind, thoughts, emotions, and energy. Okay, so how do we manage the self? So one view is this. There are many ways. This is one such way where your self-management consists of self-confidence and managing your 3H, continuous improvements and concentration. So the self-confidence involves self-efficacy. What is self-efficacy? That having that thinking or the emotion that I can face most of the challenges in life. Let me do. The ability to produce a desired or intended result. So that is the first one. In self-confidence, self-efficacy is the first one. Many times people may think that, oh no, this I cannot even try. This is not possible for me. I cannot even think about it. So that is not good. Self-efficacy is let me try. I'll be able to do it. I'll acquire whatever is required. I can do it. Self-efficacy is I can do it. If required, I can do it. So that's self-efficacy. So first and foremost, so you can also say that it is an intention. You have the intention of doing whatever is desired by you, whatever is required by you. The second one is self-responsibility. This is very, very important. If you need to manage yourself, if you need to feel better, if you need to be free, if you need to feel the freedom, then you need to take self-responsibility for my desires, self-responsibility for your desires, for your quality of work, for your quality of communication, for your quality of behavior, your time, your values, and your happiness. So your happiness is your responsibility, right? So self-efficacy, self-responsibility, and self-direction. So self-direction requires you to find out what is your purpose of your life. So have a high goal or ideal in life, right? What goal, what ideal, what purpose? You find whatever is the best, which is suitable for you. It has to be your own. You should not follow somebody else's goal or somebody else's ideal. You can look at everything and then you see what is best for you. Follow your own highest ideal or your own highest goal. So self-confidence is self-efficacy, self-responsibility, self-direction. And then you have to handle your 3H, your head, heart, and hand. Basically the skill development. It is not sufficient to just have the self-confidence. You should also have the skills at various levels. So head is basically developing your mind, thinking, right? Your professional, all those things. Heart is feeling for the self and others, emotions primarily, and it could be the spirituality as well. So next levels, emotions and spirituality. So it is not only your own emotions, the emotions to help others as well. Hand is basically ability to work and work together with the people. So working externally with the people, even though you have the great IQ, thinking, professional capabilities, if you don't know how to demonstrate that outside and work with the team, then again it is not sufficient. So then comes the continuous improvement. It is also called Kaizen in Japanese. So it is the ability, feeling for others and quality of work. Start smallest, practice the easiest. So whatever you do, strive to improve in small increments. Don't make a drastic change, because when you make a drastic change, there is all possibility that you may just drop it after some time. So make small improvements and small changes. That is Kaizen, continuous improvement. And then concentration, focus, attention. You have to do that for anything, whatever you want to do, whether you want to achieve certain goal, your ideal goal primarily, or manage your work, manage your time. For everything you need that concentration or attention. So this is one way of looking at self-management. So any questions on this? self-confidence, which consists of self-efficacy, self-responsibility for your desires, work, communication, behavior, time, values, and happiness, and then self-direction, having your own highest purpose, ideal goal in your life. Then managing your 3H, head, heart, and hand, and then continuous improvement, continuous incremental improvements, and then concentration. So if we can focus on these things, there is a good possibility of managing ourselves and developing, improving continuously, and thriving ourselves in life. So any comments, any questions, any insights, any views?
Sir, on a lighter note,
Yeah.
to start.
Sorry, missed it. Can you say it again?
No, you have told so many things. On a lighter note, I just want to know where to start.
Where to start?
Yeah.
The first one is the self-efficacy. So whatever is required, I can do it. Right? So that is a start. Right? Whatever comes up, if you want to really make your company multi-billion company or topper in your industry, you can do it. Right? If you want to become the famous person in the world, you can do it. Right? So that confidence that yes, whatever I decide to do, whatever I choose to do it, I can do it. So that self-efficacy is the first one.
Thank you, sir.
Then comes taking responsibility. Without taking the responsibility, I cannot really achieve anything. So that is the second step. And third one is the direction. I have to have in fact, that can be the top one. I have to have the highest goal, ideal for myself. Yes, Konanji. Then continuous improvement. Yeah, yes, Konan.
I just wanted to say thank you. It's well thought and all points you have covered. I was just thinking, my perspective, what I believe is human being being the eternal creature. So from that perspective, I was thinking that what can I add into this list? So thank you, sir. I will look into that.
So it's not I thought out. I really picked up from some sources. So really not my own original thought.
Because for me,
so what is the second part you're saying?
Yeah, for me, it's always considering ourselves as eternal being. So
Yes.
I was thinking from that perspective, what could be added into this list, so I can manage myself as an eternal being as well.
Yeah, actually, that's a very interesting point of view and question. That comes in the definition of self itself. You can do all these things, but if you can expand the definition of self and continue to do these things, that is all is required. So that's why I kept asking, what is self? In the yes, Taki.
No, continue.
Yeah. So there are so many philosophies which define the self and the universe, how the whole thing is structured. So one of the philosophies is non-dual philosophy. As per the non-dual philosophy, The self is nothing but the whole universe is self itself, if you expand the definition appropriately. So you are not just you alone, right? You are part of everything around you as a starting point, right? You are part of your parents to start with. You're part of your family, immediate family. You're part of your office and colleagues. You're part of your friends and forums like this, right? So whatever you do, whatever you don't do, it affects and influences others and the world, right? If you go a little bit further, more you really acquire more and more energy and more expansive ideals, then you influence more and more, and ultimately you influence the whole universe. So that's that's why you are not able to put a fixed definition for the self, because it is infinite, truly infinite, and it is the whole universe as such. So it is only our point of view, our capability, our way of dealing with. We restrict ourselves. It is so flexible. The self is so flexible that we can put it in any size, form, and shape. So the physical form and shape is given, but the energetic and mental and emotional state and shape can be expanded to the infinity as well. It's not just a theory. Maybe as a starting point, it is a theory, but there are people who have done it, who followed it and who have done it, who have realized that they can really, feel the self as the whole universe as well. So in this team itself, I can feel that I'm just a small individual in this forum. I don't have anything beyond me, but I can also think that no, I have the responsibility to really not only deal with me, I also need to take care of others, or be aware of others, think about them as well, or serve them. So that is also possible. Yes, Taki.
Yeah, when you define that way, that means self can be extended towards the universe or something more than the body of ourselves. I just remember the scriptural definition means if you go closer to the Almighty God or Creator, what will happen? And you become more close, and you can even communicate with Him directly. Then your hands will be the hands of Him, and your visuals, your eyes will be His own eyes, and your legs will be His own. Whatever you will, you can control. You can do whatever you will. That will be from the direct from the God. That means it will be synchronized with the Almighty, the Creator. So there will be no difference between you and me. So up to that you can grow. You will be more bigger than you will be more bigger than yourself. Means you will be more closer, more synchronized with the Creator. That means you become the universe. So that much big you can become as a self. If you go closer to the creation, you identify, you realize that truth, you will be more powerful. I feel that means that all power, and that is one thing. And another thing you just mentioned before, there is a word opposite of exercise, inner something. What is that?
Inner size.
Yes, inner size. Yeah, I feel it's very important to self. And another thing, as I said, HR management now it is divided into talent management, talent recruitment, empowerment, expert, like that. So you are doing self all those managements inside you. That inner size you can do. You can be the corporate governance inside you. You can see, you can control. You can do the corporate governance inside yourself, in self. I feel with all these potentials.
Yeah. So see that's the what to say, self-efficacy. We can reach those things. If you really put that highest ideal that I would like to really, expand myself, I can do it. That is a self-efficacy. Thanks, Taki. See, there is another definition of self, another way of looking at the self. So it consists of 5 different layers. The first one is the physical body. The second one is the energetic body. The third one is the mind body or thoughts body. And the next one is the intelligence body. And the last one is the bliss body, right? So that is another way of looking at the self. So that bliss body is the part of the whole universe, and it is always blissful. Whatever happens doesn't happen. So if we touch that part of the body, right, then we are touching the whole universe as well. So why we are delving into all these things? Because we want to manage ourselves to the best possible way, right? So that's why we are thinking a little bit more seriously. So Kunenji, it's okay. We can, what to say? We can do it. Whether it is slow or fast or whatever the way. So incremental is what is more important actually. So that is something. How do you do incremental improvement? What is Kaizen? How do we implement in our life? So what I learned is very simple exercise which demonstrates what is Kaizen and how to do it, right? So shall we do that exercise? Very simple. So all of you sit and just follow what I'm saying, right? So raise your both the hands. So you raised your hands. Okay, raise little bit high. Little bit, yes. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You can put it down. So just now we learned what is Kaizen and we implemented it. You can put it down, yeah. So what is that? So when I said raise your hands, you raised in your particular level. So when I said raise little bit more, you could easily raise little bit more, right? That is Kaizen. That is the incremental development, incremental improvement. Did you get it? So whatever we do, we can always improve it in an incremental way. Whatever we do. So just keep that in mind, that we can incrementally improve every single thing in our life. So whether it is the way you sit, whether it is the way you talk, whether the way you deal with the people, whatever it is. So how do I implement the 1,000 things I'm doing? Can I do incremental improvement, Kaizen and everything? You don't need to. Take top priority, 3 items. Okay, for you, these are the top 3 things important in life. Implement the Kaizen in those 3 things, for example, as a starting point. Then later on, you may want to add more, right? So just to summarize what I said on self-improvement. So there is self-confidence, which consists of 3 components: self-efficacy, self-responsibility, and self-direction. And then improvement of 3H, developing the skills in 3H: heart, hand, head. and then the continuous improvement or Kaizen in whatever you do, and then the concentration. So these are the 4 components we talked about. So any further views, insights, questions before we get started with Shairis? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to add into this, as Sudeepak sir, a couple of sessions he had taken on interferers. So along with the self-management and the action what we have to take on in terms of improvement, I think we need to remember that there'll be some obstacles, there'll be some interference. So we have to keep on managing them in the journey as well. So managing the interferers is also part of self-management, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So what I presented is only one view. You have to integrate more and more into it. That's right. That's what Shanti ma'am also started at the beginning. Yeah. So we have to manage our potential. We have to manage our interferers as well.
And also, Ramaji, what I have observed when Shanti ma'am was talking about internal obstacles or interference, there are always, in a very subtle way, is there, which I am sharing my experience, is difficult to identify sometimes. And whenever I am engaged in a process, doing something, suddenly it pops up and then it distracts. So it's a bit challenging for me to identify those internal interferers, which I believe is some hidden bit deep down, but keeps on popping up. So I'm in the process of identifying them, so that, but it happens in a very subtle way. It comes, and then I struggle and then come back.
Yeah. So one way to identify is concentration. So if you're concentrating more on what's going on, there is a good possibility you can identify. Second is, it may not be always possible. The other way to identify is to discuss with others, right? Whom you consider as people who can help you, who will not misjudge or misuse. When you discuss with others, there is a good possibility that you can identify that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And that's exactly the reason why we are here in this forum as well.
And who can be a better person than you all? And also, thank you so much.
Thank you, Karan. Yes, so with that, let's conclude the session and start our Shairis.
But before that, sir, if you can invite and request Ashok sir to share some of his thought, because he is
Oh,
such
yeah,
a
that will be nice. Yeah, yeah. Today is Sunday. We can spend some more time. There's no issue. So Ashokji, if you can come on camera and share your thoughts on this, it will be really nice. And Kasha also. Kasha has not spoken at all. Ashokji, are you able to hear us? And Ratanji, Kasha.
Priya,
Yes, Reddy Garu.
Priya Gupta also didn't speak.
Priya
Yeah.
Gupta is busy.
Yeah, yeah, yes, Priya. Of course, yeah.
My health is not good today.
Oh, okay. What happened?
And but today's session was great. Like I learned this Kaizen thing was awesome. See, if I can do a little bit, I can do more of it also. So that was awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And
So,
can you that Kaizen in your top priority, your mission, Priyaji?
Yes, it
yeah,
has.
yeah. So recover soon and get well, Priya. Yes, Kasha.
Um, Sorry, I've been traveling, so in between I lost, you know, I heard on efficiency and efficacy, and again I lost, so I was not there throughout.
Yeah, no problem. No problem, Kasha. You can.
What was the question now?
No, we talked about self-management in a particular way. And on top of that, of course, Shanti Ma'am, Kunanji and all said that we have to add what we are learning from SIR, which is P equal to P minus I. So we have to manage our potential and interference as well. But what I was presenting is a one view of managing ourselves through self-confidence, which consists of self-efficacy, self-responsibility, and self-direction, and improving the capabilities of our heart, hand, and mind, and incremental improvement, continuous incremental improvements through Kaizen, and then concentration of our mind. So with that, we can manage ourselves better. So that's what I was talking about.
To
Just to
they say whatever the words convey is just the 5%. The rest is all the energy. So
correct.
So yeah, because when we are confident about what we're going to tell, so the other person will definitely know that what we are trying to tell. And when we are confident, we'll be focused. When we are focused, it is more communicative, is what I'm practically with my experience also what I felt. I'm just sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rasha. So Venkatesh ji, do you want to say something or some sharing? You're on mute.
Waiting for Shairi.
Okay. I think Ashok ji is not able to speak. Maybe this is something else. Ratan ji, do you want to say something? Okay, so if not, let's get started. Vetri, Kamal, Punan, and anybody else.
Let's start with Vetri Shanmugam. Please welcome Vetri for Tirukural.
Good morning, everyone. Amazing discussions. Thank you, Ramaji, for the clarity. I don't know whether it is so out of, I don't know, just let me go after the Punan, please.
You will be always after me, huh? Please help to welcome Kamal Dupare. आपकी खिदमत में एक शायरी पेश करेंगे.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, all. Thanks. I know, powerful session, Rama sir. And the crust is, no, I would like to say in Hindi, जिसने अपने आप को control कर लिया, self-management here, everything is conquered, everything is taken care, and the life will be in ease and joy. So everything which is start from here, अपने दिमाग से, if that is taken care, everything is taken care. that is the best self-management. And for that, that's why I thought, better to be in the meditation mode or self-time mode, me time, morning me time. So that's the good one. शायरी, okay. शायरी एक था कि अकेलेपन का मजा अलग है, अकेलेपन का मजा अलग है, मैंने खुद को पा लिया तेरी राह तक देखते देखते. समझे?
Can you translate as well?
कुछ आंसर ही करेंगे. मेरी शायरी मुझे लगता है वही समझ पाते हैं, बाकी मुझे मालूम नहीं.
नहीं, हम लोग सब समझ पाते हैं.
थैंक यू सर.
सब समझ लेते हैं. इट्स वेरी डीप शायरी. फिर से बताइए.
अकेलेपन का मजा अलग है, मैंने खुद को पा लिया तेरी राह देखते देखते.
अकेलेपन का मजा ही कुछ और है, मैंने खुद को पा लिया तेरी राह देखते देखते. So the poet is happy, contented in the situation wherever he is, whatsoever he has, and he is enjoying the solace, and he is happy for his situation because he found himself while he was behind someone to find, but when he found himself, he is getting the complete joy, satisfaction, and happiness, because that's what is the reality. So this is the summary of.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So somewhere that the crust is that only, that being in solace, being in that silence is a good thing, where we can find ourselves. Okay, thank you all. Thanks.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So please now welcome Vetrival Shanmugam.
Thank you very much, Kunalji. Though we are talking about self-management, I would like to add something related to self-control, because I believe that it also part of a self-management. There is a beautiful Kural, it goes this way in Tamil. Adakam amarurul vaikum, adangame arirul vaikudam. The English meaning or translation is self-control takes one to the gods, meaning to the goal. Self-control. If want of it will put one into utter darkness. So adakam amarurul vaikum. If you have a self-control, you will reach your target, goal, or reaching the God. The missing of it will put you into darkness. So self-control. Thank you very much.
Self-control is important, yes. मैंने जो अर्ज किया जनाब के वेंकटेश जी कि कोई उस शख्स सा दुनिया में कहाँ होता है. शख्स आदमी. कोई उस शख्स सा दुनिया में कहाँ होता है, लाख चेहरों में जिसे दिल ने चुना होता है. लाख चेहरों में जिसे दिल ने चुना होता है. हम तो उस मोड़ पर आ पहुंचे हैं मोहब्बत में जहां. हम तो उस मोड़ पर आ पहुंचे हैं मोहब्बत में जहां दिल किसी और को चाहे तो गुनाह होता है. दिल किसी और को चाहे तो गुनाह होता है. तो ये मोहब्बत की कैफियत है वेंकटेश जी आपके लिए.
You want me to translate that one now?
Yes, sir, please.
Give line by line.
कोई उस शख्स सा दुनिया में कहाँ होता है.
There is nobody like that in this whole universe. There is that particular face. Nobody is like that in the whole universe.
लाख चेहरों में जिसे दिल ने चुना होता है.
The one we have selected out of the millions of faces, that particular face, where is it?
हम तो उस मोड़ पर आ पहुंचे हैं मोहब्बत में जहां
I have reached such a stage in the plight of this love. In the plight of love, I have reached a stage where choosing someone is a big sin.
yes
It's a
दिल
sin. I can't excuse myself to love anybody else or make up my mind to love anybody else. I want only you. Yes, we want Kunain only.
thank you sir, great translation. So it's all
Thank you.
about self
Devotion, devotion, devotion.
devotion, or you can say creator or self or
So
whatsoever.
so I also want to say one
Arey wah.
shairi from no,
Yes,
Tamil.
yes.
Yeah, no, I'm picking up from there is in Tamil so much is there. It's really huge. So one thing is called Purananuru, like in line with our self-management, we have to manage externally and internally. So Purananuru is 400 songs describing about your external stuff, and Agananuru is 400 stuff to manage your internal thing. So that Purananuru, there is one famous poem written by a poet called Kaniyan Pungondrana. So this was done in 2,700 years ago. And this particular saying, this particular poem is also etched in United Nations as well. So it is called, so it is a long one. So I will just pick up parts of that. The initial lines go like this. Yadum ure yavarum kelir. Yadum ure yavarum kelir. Every place is my own place. Everybody in the world is my own people. So that's expanding yourself. So you don't restrict yourself to your own house, your own place. So he says that everywhere, wherever I go, I really behave as if it is my own place. Whomever I meet, I treat them as my own people. So that's first line. Yadum ure yavarum kelir. Thidum nandrum piratara vara. Thidum nandrum piratara vara. The good and bad do not come from others. Good and bad do not come from others. It emerges from myself. Nodalum tanidalum avatror anna. So suffering or enjoying depends on myself, not others. Right? Like that it goes. I want to just go to the last two lines. Periorai viyattalum ilame. By looking at some people who are great in whatever the way they are, I don't really get attracted or surprised, right? I treat them also equal. The people who are at the top position, the people who are really great, the people who are rich, the people who are absolutely amazing, I know that they're also like me. So I don't treat them differently. I'm not surprised or amazed by them. That's Periyore Viyattalum Ilame. Siriyore Igaldal Adaninam Ilame. And more than that, the most important thing is that the so-called people who are downtrodden, I don't look down upon them. I know that they are equal to me. Right? So this is truly the self-management, expanding ourselves. So it's an amazing poem. Thank you. Okay, I'll stop the recording.